Okay, there we are. Good morning and welcome to another episode of Viva Café con Leche with Margarita and Lori. My name is Lori Monaco from Align Yourself Inc. I am a life coach specializing in transformation and mindfulness practice. I'm a speaker and I'm also a holistic practitioner, and I'm known as the Badass Buddha, and I'm coming to you from a beautiful day in Southern Connecticut. Good morning.
Good morning, mi gente. I am La Margarita, spiritual and creative healing life coach, writer, author, awesomeness, your gladiator guru, coming to you from Tampa, Florida. Buenos dias, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Is everybody awake? Does everybody have their coffee? I'm not quite awake yet.
Just some days it's like a firecracker, and then other days it's a snail, right?
Today's a snail. I couldn't sleep. Well, you and I had a conversation last night, so you probably know why I was a little restless. But yeah, it was just I went to bed and I fell asleep really rapidly. But then I was up at like 3 in the morning, and then 4 in the morning, and then 5, and I can't stand that interrupted sleep. I really I used to get interrupted sleep for years, and then finally it calmed down. But then these little stupid things come in, where they just sort of get rushing in your head, and then you wake up. And yeah, so when I fell back asleep and the alarm actually went off, it was like
And it's always that right before you got to get up, best sleep ever.
yeah, I get that, unfortunately. Look, good morning, Michelle. Michelle's bright and early, says good morning, beauties.
Good morning, Michelle.
And Marcia is our guest this morning. So good morning, Marcia. We're glad you're here. Dane Kirby is also watching. Good morning, Dane. Michelle says, I was awake all night up at 3. Oh, Michelle. Yeah, it just blows. Like, it totally blows when you don't get sleep, And some people, like Margie and I were talking about this last night, and Margie only needs a certain amount of sleep. What'd you say, 6 hours you need?
Between 5 and 6, yeah.
I need like 7 or 8. I'm good. Maybe 6, but I can't do it consecutively. And, and straight through. When I start getting interrupted, it's just not good. So, hopefully the coffee will kick in very soon. So what's
take a power nap. But I heard Steve Harvey say once, I came across something that was recorded, and he says, you cannot sleep 8 hours. He says, if you get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you missed your whole morning. It's 11 o'clock in the East Coast. People are already doing their second part of their day. So I guess if you look at it from the West Coast point of view, yeah, but some people say you got to hustle, team no sleep, and I totally don't believe in that. I think you need to rest your brain of whatever you're working.
Oh, no, you have to. You have
to. But because, like I'm constantly saying, I'm a night owl and an early bird, early bird, which makes me just an exhausted pigeon. So it's like once I'm up, I'm happy, I'm singing, I'm taking my shower, I'm getting ready. And then once I get settled to go to bed, like I tell you, I've been working on trying to get a decent hour. No, last night I was up till about 2-something in the morning. So.
But you know what it is, though? You value that time. That's your quiet time. You're like me. You have a house full of people, and that's the only time everybody is away. They're out. And even though I'm not a late night person, but I tend to be an early morning person because everybody's asleep, including the pets, early in the morning. It's just that when I go to bed too late or I don't sleep, I can't get up that early. So I don't have that. I can't do my morning routine because I'm too tired to do it, which frustrates me. And then I have to try to do it during the day. Well, I mean, I usually do, but it's still, I like having a specific start to my day.
But no, I just find, even when I lived alone, I find that those peak hours for me, like with my writing, and even I started a piece of art last night. It's just the way my brain clicks and my spirit just dances fiercely, you know, no music, in the dark, naked. It's just in my mind she's naked because I do have a house with people. But but it's always been my more creative hours. It's when the moon is in full effect and it's just, I don't know. It's very flamenco for me.
And it's good that you identify that, like, you know what is your power time, because some people don't. Some people are just completely lost and they don't, you know, they don't understand it, and they'll use like really late night to just watch TV, or they'll sleep in because they're too tired to get up. And but you, like, you know it, you know what works for you. It's like I know what works for me as well. We have a lot of people jumping in. So Michelle says, I don't do caffeine anymore. Today's going to be rough. Oh, Michelle. Well, you still could be on the show with us with your, just get your mug and fill it with water. How's that? Nan says, good morning. Stephanie Nieves is on. Good morning, Stephanie. Connie's on. Good morning.
Yes, my sister, Connie. I love you, big sis. Stephanie Nieves, good morning, beautiful freckle face.
And Andrew's on. Good morning, Andrew Frankson. Good morning. He says, good morning, ladies. So fabulous. So we've got a, how about on your end?
That is beautiful. So yeah, so this morning I was telling Lori, I have just things. I've never been one to believe that things are to be purchased and worn on special occasions. When I wake up in the morning, the world is a better place. It's a special occasion.
If we're breathing, it is.
I've always been this way, and I always tell people, wear it. Just because you bought it to go, but you know, you're alive today. Tomorrow's never promised for any one of us. It's good to have some things, because if you bought something because next week you're going to a wedding, that's different. But to see something you like and just say, oh, I'm going to just so that, you know, in the summer I want to wear this. If it's a beautiful day, wear it. And I say all this is because my niece had gotten me these, and then I've been saying I got to wear them. And today I said, let me peel it. And some of the stuff fell off because it's getting old. So what's the whole purpose? You know, Irma Bombeck said, if I had my life to live over, I would burn that heart-shaped candle and enjoy it instead of letting it melt in the attic in a box. So once I read that
that's
book,
a nice quote,
Irma Bombeck, years ago, it always stuck with me. So today I said, I am going to be just fucking fantabulous, and I'm going to wear my little rhinestones because it makes me feel good. You see it?
And you look adorable.
A black top that says, love it.
Oh, geez, I wonder where you got that.
Yes, Lori gifted me this in the mail. And I'm just, you know, so I think in life, our lives are like those precious stones that people sell for millions of dollars. That's who we are. That's who you are. And we have to own it. And I think in owning that, just be wild and be free and be you with no worries of who's going to look at you, because people always look at me. Yesterday I went to the dentist and I had my 3 diamonds up here, and they're like, they're wondering, what am I? Am I Indian? And whatever the case, I let them look. I don't care, because I don't do it for them. I do it because I love to wear my diamonds here. It just like, it's like a beacon for my third eye to awaken when I'm kind of sluggish, you know. So and then today I said, you know what, I'm wearing my hair up.
It looks beautiful.
And I said, let me just add something, because I feel flushed. Even though I got blush on, I still feel flushed. But yeah, and that's, so be you. Lori says it best at the end of every show. Be authentically you, you know, be the person that you should always be, the one that dances inside, and you're always hushing her to sit down because you're somewhere where, oh no, you can't do that. No, be wild, be free, be totally authentic you. Wear what the hell you want to wear, when you want to wear it. And that's it. And you'll be better. And your ideas.
People do that going to Walmart. They wear whatever they want to wear. When they go.
Listen, we're talking at a higher scale here, okay? Ooh, Maron, I be seeing that. I see all the pictures. It's like Thank God I've never actually seen somebody like that.
Oh my God.
But I just think don't save something for a better day, because today you woke up and you're tired and you still got up and you still washed your ass and you still brushed your teeth and you put that makeup on and you put those clothes on. And you know what? Today's that special day.
Yes.
And I'm
Why
always
not?
going to be me. I've been me all my life. My kids, my grandkids, they don't, even Mateo, the 3-year-old, there are days where I don't wear my diamonds and he'll come in after daycare and he'll come right up to me. He's like, Marcia, you okay? And I said, yeah, why? Where is it? Where is it? Like he's wondering, why didn't I put my diamond on today? Like I must not be well. And that's a 3-year-old who's already used to my eccentricities.
And it's a male, which is very impressive that he noticed.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. And because I've always been this way, and then just stuff happens that we allow to take us out of our own way. And we got to get back and this makes me happy and I love it. And I don't have no jewelry on except for this. But I like to wear all my jewelry.
And you know, let's make it a challenge even. How's this? So between now and the middle of next week, we want you to wear something that you don't normally wear just around your house. Like even if you're going to clean, if you don't want to ruin anything, but if you're just going to sit around, kind of chill out, do work, put something really like fancy on that you haven't worn in a while, or something that's real sexy, or something that's just a lot of fun, so that you could just wear it and go to the store that way. How about that? Like walk in with this really pretty outfit on with your mask on and just like go shopping, you know, just, I mean, because Margie's right. It's like technically every day is a gift. And especially with this whole COVID thing, we've gotten a little on the lazy side because so many of us have been working from home. I mean, I always worked from home anyway for the last year and a half, but I find myself like just wearing a nice shirt and then God only knows what's on underneath, you know. But it's, you know, get out there. Like so many people have been so casual that they're not getting a chance to hit the closet and put something fun on. So if you are going to go out shopping, if you're going to take a walk, put something fun on, and yeah, get people to ask questions like, why are these?
Oh my God, let me show you. I have to go to the post office after this, right? And so once I watch the show, I gotta go. But this is my outfit for today. It's my.
By the way, and you look really nice in that shirt. Like that really shows you how much weight you've lost.
You see my sarong? I wear my sarong.
Yep, it's beautiful.
And I'm not at the beach, but I wear it. And I'd be like, what? So it's. So I think, you know what? And that's it. And I'm going to go to the post office. So I want to give some shout outs. My cousin Petey, Iritza Martinez. Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, Iritza.
Leche Rizzo, you know her, Lori, she's the one at the first Ajusta Tu Corona that you went to, and she was selling those beautiful clothing.
Oh, yes.
Like racks, like bohemian clothes. And
oh, yes.
That's Jennifer. And Ruthie Wright, I think you said her name.
Ruthie, no, I didn't. I didn't see Ruthie.
Oh, well, welcome, mi gente.
So Nan says, Irma Bombeck, shout out Boston Globe. And then she writes, let's see, Margarita, we have been around a minute. I don't know. I don't see what she means by that, but maybe we've just been around a long time. I don't know. Michelle says she wears scrubs every day. And Marcia says, I need to be as confident as you ladies. Yes, hang out with us, Marcia, seriously. And Michelle says, I loved Irma Bombeck. Yeah, I did too. I
have like several of her books right here in my library, in my living room. And sometimes I'll just sit there and read it. And because she's awesome and everything she would have not done the laundry and she would have enjoyed her children more. And if anybody knows Irma Bombeck, she died of cancer.
Yes, at a young age. Yeah.
And I think that that's what we need to do. Like I despise a messy house. Like the beds have to be made every morning, but and the dishes have to be, so I guess I'm anal. So I can't like leave the house if it's a mess, but sometimes you just got to say, fuck it and go and enjoy something, because you're going to spend an hour cleaning, but your daughter invites you to go somewhere in 10 minutes and you just got to say, okay, what? Sometimes just leave the house. You're gonna come back to it. And if somebody follows you in, oh well, they shouldn't show up unannounced. But also Rocky De Lorenzo, my brother-in-law. Hello, Michelle Martinez. Hola. Jennifer says hi, ladies. Evelyn Williams, welcome. Miggy. So
Mickey's on. Yes, I love that name. That's awesome.
yeah. So I mean, just do it. Just be you. Be you and love yourself. Love yourself.
So with that, we're going to get into our conversation today so we can get our guest on. But we do one more thing is that we do have an announcement at the end that we're going to let you guys all know about. And if you have your pictures, remember, keep snapping pictures of your mug. Margie and I were talking about that last night, and we've been slack on getting like little prizes out to everybody. We haven't forgotten about everybody. It's just we were hoping to get our logo and all that stuff put together. And so that's been taking a little bit longer. So be patient, it's gonna happen. But yes, take pictures, hashtag Taza de Cafe challenge, and send pictures in just of the mug, of you drinking it, whatever you wanna do. Last blast of the summer, we're getting towards the end of summer. So my gosh, take pictures of you sitting with your mug outside on your deck.
Yes, with my book. Take a picture of your mug.
Yes.
My book.
That's right.
In Mother Nature's beautifulness.
That's a great idea.
Your mug, I just wanted to remind people, you don't have to have mugs that say anything.
Right.
And I hope that's not the reason why you're sending in pictures.
Right.
First of all, it could be just a plain mug. The beauty of it is that it is your mug that you're enjoying your morning coffee or tea in. That's what the beauty is. It's not about what it says, what color it is. It's you, because you bought it because for some reason you liked it. So just do that and send us your selfie of your Taza de Café challenge. Like Lori says, it's important, and you'll be surprised. And whoever wins is going to be lucky. But we're going to have it ongoing because Viva's not going nowhere.
No.
So those that have been with us since the beginning, thank you, because we're going to be going for a ride.
Yes, we are. All right. So
before we get started, I have Luis Hernandez. Hola.
Morning, Luis.
Toji, my cousin Toji. Carmen Grand Diva, I'm sure that she's there. Welcome. Well, oh, hello, and my sister-in-law, Cassandra. Cassandra, how are you? Beautiful. She's Eric's older sister.
A second, my Facebook all of a sudden went wonky on my phone. All right, so let's bring our guest on this morning. Our conversation this morning is going to be, is transparency truth? I don't know how many of you are in corporate or just in business in general, but I have found that has become the most annoying phrase or word because I think it's overused. So we're going to be talking about transparency, truth, and what it means, but not just in the corporate realm. We're going to be talking about it in the education realm, and we're going to be talking about it in our personal lives as well, because that catchword has shifted into personal, and we're going to talk about how transparent the word transparency really is. So we're going to bring our guest on this morning. It's a good friend of mine that I've known for, oh my goodness, just I think going on 20 years I've known her, and she's an amazing lady, and she has a lot to say about this on this subject because we've worked in these environments before. So we're going to bring Marcia Lim on this morning. So she should be here any moment. Here she is. Hey, there's Marcia.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marcia. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Good morning, ladies. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
You're fantabulous.
We're good. Yeah. It worked out really well.
Fabulous.
It worked out really well because Marcia normally she's going to work. And when I told her that, we needed somebody for the spot, she said, I took Thursday and Friday off. I said, well, then it was meant to be. So that's right.
But you kind of had to talk me into it, though, Lori. I was a little nervous.
And I don't know why, because she's like absolutely fabulous. She's got this beautiful personality, and she's has tremendous insight. So I have no idea what the freak was nervous about, and she's got such a great smile. So it's like you got it all, Marcia, and you have a face, that people.
Well, thank you for that boost. Thank you.
You're welcome. Char Maria says hello, by the way, and Janet's on too. So good morning, Janet. How you feeling?
Good morning, little sis.
All right, so let's talk about this. So some of the conversation is about defining transparency, defining truth. How are they related? Can one exist without the other? Is transparency used too much to the point of being non-transparent or untrustworthy? We'll talk about it on business terms and also personal life. So in the Cambridge Dictionary, the definition of transparency is a situation in which business and financial activities are done in an open way without secrets so that people can trust that they are fair and honest. In other words, when an individual or an organization is transparent, there are no hidden agendas and no information is being kept from people who need to know it. And I'm not going to get into I have this major thing written for truth, but basically truth is closely aligned with transparency. The principle of truth means to be honest with colleagues, supervisors, and direct reports, especially important in the context of difficult conversations. And then it says, without transparency and truthful communications, accountability cannot exist. And you cannot hold an underperforming staff member, for instance, accountable without engaging in difficult conversations. And then the last piece is, even though it's not written on our title, trust. Leaders build up their team members' trust by communicating transparently and truthfully. In other words, by being trustworthy. This opens honest two-way lines of communication so that the members of your team know what is happening, can communicate their concerns honestly, and know where they stand at all times. So we've all worked, and all three of us have worked in corporate. All three of us have, or two of us. Well, no, Margie, you've worked in education and to a certain level too, right? So we've all worked in education. And what do you all think? Like, do you, because that word comes up, that word, Margie, did we look it up? When that started? When did that word start being used?
It started so it goes back to like the 15th century, believe it or not. And it means to show light through. And from the Latin word, it means trans means across, beyond, and through. And parent is come in sight, submit, and obey. So when they added all together, by the 16th century, it wasn't used that much, but then it did a comeback towards the 17th. But it's always been transparency, which means, show the light through, which is honesty, which if you translate back then's language to today, and submit and obey. And I guess that's what just means communication and accountability in today's language. So it has been around for a long time. I just think sometimes people use that word, I guess, to sound like they're smart and to cover up who they are, because I've met a lot of people like, I'm transparent. What you see is what you get. And it's like, no.
Exactly. That's exactly the point.
You just learned that word today that you want to use it, so I'll blow their spot like that. Oh, that must be a new word for you.
But in business, though, how long would you ladies say that word has been coming around in business now? It's been probably, I don't know, around 10 years?
Different
last
things.
10 years, last decade?
Yeah, I would say about the last 10 years. And I think partly because there's been a lot of exposure, people coming out talking about what's happening in their company, negative things that have been happening in their company. And from a corporation standpoint, they've used that word so frequently now that even for me personally, when somebody, a corporation says they're transparent, I'm like,
I cringe. I cringe.
You know what I mean? What you're transparent? Are you transparent in that the employees know what your mission is, what your philosophy is, what your values are? Are you transparent in that your employees know what the processes are of the company? What does that mean? Are you transparent because you want to reveal certain things so that you can keep your customers, right? Or are you transparent so that you, in the community that you are in? So what does that mean? And it means different things for different people.
Yes.
And I personally believe that a corporation cannot be fully transparent. If they want to maintain business, right? If they want to keep making profits, then they cannot be fully transparent.
No.
They can be transparent in certain things, right? And they only become transparent when something happens. the last, 10 years, we've seen this explosion of sexual harassment and discrimination in corporations. And then they only came out with policies that may reflect their transparencies because things have been hidden, things have been happening in their companies, and people are starting to talk about it. So companies, I think, are transparent when they need to be transparent, when it affects their bottom line, but it's not something that they necessarily do willingly. It's because something happened.
Absolutely.
To become transparent.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I think it's overused. I think a lot of companies throw it around to make themselves look better. And Marcia is right. You can't be transparent about everything. So if you're saying that you're transparent and the company's transparent, just saying it and not following with, we're transparent with certain the things that are really important to the employees and the clientele, the customers. But honestly, we can't be transparent about every little thing. That right there is the most truthful statement you can make. But when they sit there and throw out, oh no, we want to be transparent, we want to be this, it's just, I like roll my eyes because, and again, like just you talking about it, Marcia, gives me this like yucky feeling when they throw that word around so much.
Yeah.
And even what Margie was saying, the person saying.
That's why when it comes to business, I don't even associate that word with it because it's all bullshit. So when I hear people talk about transparency, to me, it's more a personal conversation with somebody who's trying to lie to you and tell you how they are so open and they're an open book and they don't lie. And you look at them like, what the hell are you talking about? I just know you just did that. Anyway, so that word I never associated to business. I always hated corporate, but let me tell you something. Nonprofits don't stay too far behind.
Oh yeah, no, it's
like they have a shitload more to cover up. So yeah. So when it comes to any type of business transparency, I'm like, once they start talking about it, I walk away.
Well, that's the irony. I think if somebody says they are, they aren't, right? So like if you say, "Oh, listen, I'm this very open person. I'm so like I'm down to earth." Like if you have to tell people that you are, then you're not, right? In a way, like you.
It depends. I'll tell people I'm straight up and down like 6 o'clock. So if I say something to offend you, it is not my problem that you're sensitive.
But you say it. You
back away. Yeah.
But you say it at the moment that it presents itself. You don't just announce it right off to people when you.
No, that's not my introduction. No.
That's what I mean. But that's what I mean. It's like when you meet people, you don't sit there and go, "Oh, I'm straight up and down." Like it's like you don't say that. You just, if it presents itself. But companies do that. People will do that and go, "Oh, I'm all about this." And Marcia and I have been lucky enough to work. We worked at a school that was privately owned for many years, and the guy who owned it was as transparent as could be. And the interesting thing is, never once did you ever hear that word come out of his mouth. He never said, "I'm transparent." He just was. He lived it. And
he was honest.
Yes.
He was honest.
Yes.
He was honest in everything that he did and everything that he said.
Yes. Yep.
That's the difference.
Yes. And then the school gets bought out and becomes corporate. And all of a sudden you started to see, they didn't use the word. I don't remember them using that word. No. Started to see there were certain things that were being done on the back end, and even both of us were we were administrators, and we didn't know some of the stuff that was going on, which to me that's not okay, Then it got sold out and bought by another company, and that's where the word came in. And the person that became the head, the manager of the campus or whatever, threw that word out like crazy. I thought I was going to vomit. Like every time it would come out of her mouth, transparent, I'm going, oh my God, but you're not. It's like if you're saying it, stop, just like stop. I felt like stop.
Well, a lot of corporations uses those words to intimidate their employees. Like
I agree.
We don't normally use those words, so then they're constantly saying it, and it's more like you know, I'm superior to you. You're an idiot. You don't understand. So I'm transparent. So get in line. So to me, from what I witnessed in my years of working, it's always been used as a tool to make you feel like, oh, okay. It's never been like an inclusive word with your
Right.
with your
Right.
employees. So people who use that too, they feel like they're up here and you're a freaking idiot down here, and you know you're gonna be like, oh my God, let me make sure I do everything right because they're transparent. They can see right through me, or you know, it's that's what it's used. It's a word of intimidation, especially to a company who has to repeat it. Like, sit your narrow behind down and shut the hell up already.
Right, because that's not what the word means. The word transparent means it's about building trust, right? It's about building relationships. It's about encouraging people. I don't want to say to be themselves, but especially in a corporate setting, you want to build that trust and you want to build that relationship so that people can then be productive or be more productive, or people can be more innovative, come up with ideas, because they're feeling free from intimidation. Just what you said, Margie. That's what transparency in a corporate setting
Is supposed to
should
mean.
mean.
Yes.
Right? It's supposed to mean. But you're right, Margie. People take that word, especially in corporate, and it means the opposite, or they do the opposite to what the word actually means. Yeah.
It's like they trap you. They trap you because they say, "Oh, we're transparent. You could say anything to us," and then you do,
And then the minute you do,
and
there are
they use
repercussions.
Yes, they use it against you.
Yes. Yes.
They'll try anyway. See, my problem's always been with authority. But I worked at a company that
I would have never guessed that. I would have never guessed that, Marge.
That the majority of the employees were people of color, and we worked, you know, with disabled adults, but they were always made to feel like they were less than, you know, like there was one higher up that, because when I would speak up at meetings and everything, she labeled me as aggressive. And one day I had to tell her, listen, sweetie, you got your words confused. I'm assertive.
Yes, there's a difference.
And I think people who are so transparent, they think that you're just supposed to sit there and listen to what they say and believe in them and everything. Then the minute you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right, then you're aggressive. I'll wear that because I can be an aggressive little bitch too. But in certain instances, I'm assertive. I speak my mind. I don't care where I'm at. So again, those words, but the transparency, and that was a for-profit organization, but it wasn't like a big corporate thing. But it's used for intimidation, and that's what I got out of it those 6 years that I worked there.
Yeah, definitely agree. And when it comes to our personal lives, like, you know, when you said, you know, open book, and I kind of cringe at that word because I know I am not an open book. I'm just not that person, which is fine, right? But Margie, you touched on something earlier when you were talking about yourself. I think when you're talking about yourself, you're being honest. You're being honest about who you are. It's not so much about being transparent, but it's about being honest about who you are as a person. So when you meet someone, you tell them straight up who you are, right? I don't use the word transparency for that. I use the word honest. You're being honest about yourself, about who you are, and you're letting that person know. You know, I think in our personal lives, yes, to some degree we can be transparent, but I think we also need to keep certain things private, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
We need to know what we can share and what we feel comfortable sharing, and then what are some of the things that we can keep private. And we can keep that part of us private, not just to ourselves, but to our close friends, close family, but we don't need to be out public to the whole world, because people, again, just as in the corporate world, will use that against you, right?
Correct.
To intimidate you, to make you feel less than. And so it's just being careful how we throw that word around sometimes. And
I agree and I don't agree. Like, I feel like if I put it out there, I wish someone would you can't hold it against me because I already put it out there. I have no dirty laundry, but I agree, Marcia and Lori, you can't tell all your business to everybody. I keep it in my pocket for most of the time because I haven't figured it out yet. I'm not familiar. I'm not maybe comfortable with it. So I keep it in my pocket until I become more,
You transformed. And so you
become
get
more
to a level
one
of
with
growth.
whatever it's
Yes.
Absolutely.
going
Yes.
through,
Right.
right?
Yes.
But then I also feel like it, you know how when somebody, we say in Spanish, no tapa el sol con las manos, which means don't cover the sun with your hand, because in the light of day, things will be known. So I think that because I'm honest with who I am, what I like, what I don't like, I think it because I'm a rageful soul, Marcia, and once I start going, I'm going. So I've learned that if something's up, I just speak up on it. So nobody, if you're gonna talk about me like, oh my gosh, she did that, do it because you're in awe of my awesomeness, that I can speak my truth and not feel any type of shame about it.
Right.
So much shame that comes with your truths, that's why a lot of people hold it back. But if you didn't do it alone, you're not gonna pay it alone. If whatever happened to you, it wasn't top secret, just you and your cubicle, then the people already know about it. So you know what? What is that song? Let's give them something to talk about. Because I already put it out there, so you know what? It's okay. But I totally agree. There's some things you just cannot and should not put out there.
No, because that's
terrible lover. Don't tell nobody your man's a terrible lover. If
yes.
you're an awesome lover, don't go telling them, because then women are gonna want to lust after all he does. Those are things you don't share.
Right.
Right.
Anything that's vulnerable, like Brene Brown talks about, that you need to understand your vulnerabilities, because that's what transparency will show. Transparency shows all of you. It shows the good and the bad and the challenging pieces of you. But you only let people who are that you can confide in and trust, vulnerable with. Like, you share your vulnerabilities with those people. And if they're not worthy to hear it and be a part of it, then you don't share it. So the open book thing is, you're right. You don't keep yourself open book only to certain people, and even the closest people sometimes. However, Margie, I'm right there with you. It's like, I learned over the years that I've recognized who I really am, and what I know my strengths and weaknesses are. And I don't mind sharing them with people and being very open and truthful about certain things, because even my weaknesses, I don't think of them as a vulnerability piece anymore for me. So even if somebody came around and said, oh, I heard you're this, and that, I'd be like, yep, I am. I mean, that's yes. And they're like, oh, with transparency, I think a lot of times it's used as the opposite, where by saying that they're being transparent, whether it's personal or business, they're also saying, I'm saying it to get you, to throw you off to the fact that I'm actually not.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. If you got to say it more than once, you a lying mofo. You got to say it more than once. Like, keep it going.
But you're right. To that point, it goes back to learning about who you are, and then for us as individuals, owning who we are. And you're right. When I say, people using it against you, but because we allow that. Allow that.
But that's why I said I totally agree with what you said, because
it's us owning the good. And you're right, Lori, owning the good and the bad, and that's difficult, right? And I'm in that process of learning to own the good and the bad parts of me, and being okay with it, right? And so it just goes back to, again, not so much about transparency, but about being honest to ourselves. And we can be right. We have certain people in our lives who we can be fully transparent with, right? There are certain things that we share with certain people because either they resonate with us, or we have some type of deep connection with them, and we feel comfortable in sharing and being our true selves around certain people. And then when we're in other groups of people, we may not feel so comfortable. So we don't share. We might share a little bit, but not share too much. And so it's just learning to be in that space that you're in, right? And figuring out what you feel comfortable sharing, right? The parts of you that you feel comfortable sharing. And that's all we can do, I think. That's all we can do.
For us to be honored and respected.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think the way to actually say it, and whether it's personal or in a company, is to actually take the word transparency and either let it go or start with the word truth. Like this company, or I am truthful. I'm about truth. This company is about truth and being honest, which also means that honestly, we can't share every bit of information with every single employee in this place.
Mm-hmm.
Can't share everything about me personally with every single person. That's being transparent right there to
Mm-hmm.
fit that and then say, and here's why. So it's about, to me, I think the piece that's the most powerful is the truth piece, the honesty piece, and admitting and saying, it's just not possible. And if somebody says, oh, but all these other companies are transparent, no, they're full of it. It's like, I can't sit there. And part of it is that you don't need to know all of that. Just like you don't personally need to know every single thing about me. You know, I'm close to Marcia. I share a lot with Marcia. I'm close to Margie. I share a lot with Margie. I'm pretty open a lot. I mean, I share a lot with people, but I also, there's certain things that I don't. And that's okay, because I know that if I need to, I would. But again, it's all about being truthful, not transparent.
Mm-hmm.
About knowing, being truthful to myself and being truthful in my words and actions. And even if it means I can't tell you that, you know, I have to hold that in. Oh, well, that's not being truthful. No, that's actually being ridiculously truthful to tell you
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah, that's me minding my business, so please mind yours. Sometimes
Yes.
you gotta drop to that level.
That's right.
And that's how I speak to people. Like, I don't need to tell you this. What are you
Right.
going to do with my information? Nothing. So why waste that energy in expressing it? And
Yes.
and you know, so absolutely. And I think that companies, like big corporate companies, we're just a number. So their transparency with our being transparent is so totally different that, like, it's like we're speaking alien language to one another, because
Right.
bottom line, we're just a number that we're replaceable in a day or two.
Yes.
To any of
Right.
that. So I just think, you know what? Keep your self-esteem high. Be true to who you are. Love who you are. Understand who you are in your truth. So when all that other bullshit happens in the outside world, it's not going to affect you. It's not going to have you question yourself.
That's correct.
Because they can't. They're not honest. You can be honest in a sea full of dishonest people and still hold your own, because you know who you are. You know what
Yes.
your truths are. And sometimes
Yes.
that's all it takes, because we are not the gatekeepers for all these other spirits, only our own. What
That's
we
right.
can do is unite and mesh in with them and be greater, form a greater company within the people we meet. But I think that when the companies start to do that, and you know what they're about, mind your business, do your work that you were hired to do, and then just, you know, lessen your energies around theirs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You still need to be who you are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, let's do a couple of, there's been a lot of people. So
Yes, I was just going to say, because I know Luis Molina Bierzo from Spain is on. Hola, Luis.
hola, Luis.
España.
Hello.
Nan said, hi, Marcia, exclamation points and hearts. Tiffany Bryan, good morning, Tiffany. Glad you're on. She says, good morning. Marina Rivera is watching. Good morning. Yvette.
Hola, Marina.
So Char Maria says, from what I'm understanding is time is important to allow transparency. Everything under the sun has its perfect time and place to be what it is. We should learn to recognize the time it is applied. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Char Maria. And Andrew says, I love Margarita's openness. That loose tongue is refreshing. And Tanisha is also watching, so good morning. So fabulous. I love all the commentary. This is absolutely wonderful.
Yes, Marina, good morning. I have here Gail Serrano Cruz. Good morning.
Morning, Gail.
Maria Garcia, good morning, sis. Yvette Barrows, welcome. Betsy Hernandez, welcome. I guess last night, Shine Bright Like a Diamond Jules joined. Hola. So yeah, very good. Welcome. I guess last night the invite got a lot of people, but yes. So thank you, Lori's friends who told me you're fabulous I had a conversation last night with Lillian because she's driving to Florida. We're talking about age and how, you know, especially now with all this change, it's going to be harder for older people to get jobs. And then I was like, but it's just a number. You know, I forget that I'm going to be 52 years old. I'm only reminded when I look at my daughter and I'm like, how are you 34 and you look 12? Like, I don't get it, right? And then I'm like, shit, I got a 34 and a 30-year-old. That's the only time I feel like old. Other than that, I'm like a 25, dropping it like it's hot. I'm scrubbing the refrigerator, like squatted down. I'm like, damn, I can do this still. And so I don't feel old. And I think if we keep our spirits young and alive, then you know what? We can fight every battle that presents itself if we must fight it. And we have to stand up for everything that we're against, because the world is going into a shitty place. And if you don't stand up for yourself, who the hell is? And you don't have to do it. I love confrontation. People think it's a negative word. I love confrontation. It doesn't have to be fighting. It's about knocking on someone's door saying, we need to talk. Let's clear the air. And then you decide whether you want to continue or not. But I think you have to be, in my world, you have to confront issues and then put them aside and move on to your next season of your life. Turn that page. Your life should be a book that's constantly turning pages, not being stuck on chapter 1.
And that's all knowing your truth. Like all of that. That is, it's not about being transparent right there. That is just being, you are truthful. Everything you just said was all truth. Every single bit of it. And even when you look at it, and if you do take stock into saying, okay, I'm this age and I feel this age, if you feel old and if you're 45 and you feel like you're 65 years old, that's your truth at that moment in time. And then just the fact that you have recognized it, and now what are you going to do about it? Because if you're 45 and you feel 65, there's no reason to feel that way. If you're in pain, what can you do to make those changes? And that's I think the power behind the idea of just truth in general, versus like, I really honestly wish we could get rid of the word transparency, because nobody is really fully see-through. Nothing is fully see-through unless it's a glass. And
I think we can.
It could get foggy.
Yes, it is smoke and mirrors. That's what it is.
Yep.
And Margie, I love your definition about confrontation. It's not about, you're right, it's not about a heated argument or, but it's having that conversation. And sometimes it can be a little hot, right? And then learning to let it go. And I think, and I know for me, that's a process too as well, but I think for a lot of us, it's the letting go part. After we've had the confrontation, it's the letting go. Let it go and move on, because feelings, we get all caught up in our feelings, right? And our feelings get hurt and we hold on to all that stuff. But you're right. If we can just learn to let that go, I need to be on every morning and listening to you guys, because
listen, you can let it go, Marcia. In my book that I just wrote, I
need to start going to work so I can listen to this. So, but you're feeding my soul, and it's like, oh my God, if we can let all the shit go, just let it go.
Say it with your chest.
Yes, say it, Marcia, say it. Shit.
Listen, we can.
We're such happier people.
In my book, I wrote that forgiving takes courage. Forgetting takes a lifetime, because sometimes we'll never forget. But letting go takes wisdom.
Yes.
And if you consider yourself a person who has developed through your years, through all your obstacles and your battles and even your blessings, and you've developed, and you have that courage. It's about putting them both in the same sentence. I'm going to let go because I am unapologetically courageous. And then even if you got to write it on a piece of paper, go out into your yard and burn it and let the ashes go. Sometimes we need to take that extra mile to just let it go. I try never, and those who know me from my youth would know that I'm always knocking on somebody's door. Okay, this is what I heard, and I don't like hearsay. So let me know. Oh, you said this, but what exactly did you hear me say? Because I said a lot of shit. So it's like, you know, and that's how we clear it. But as far, let's go back to the age real quick, because I know we have a little bit of time. When I was in my 20s, I went to Puerto Rico. My grandmother was a widow. And I said, Grandma, you're not going on dates? And she goes, no, I don't got time to be wasting on these old men. So I said, oh, you don't want to be kissed or touched? You're old anyway. Just pack it up. You're old. She's like, old? Shit, I'll make a 17-year-old holler. And let me tell you,
That's pretty transparent.
Favorite grandchild, okay? Because I don't believe in age or because you're old you shouldn't do things or wear things. So I'm so there, and it's true. Just be honest with who you are, and whoever don't like it, then guess what? Those are the people you don't need in your life. Those who think you're too loud or you're too blunt, then guess what? You're too sensitive, and I don't got time for your shit.
And get new friends.
You know, that's how we have to, because we have to honor and be respectful and honest with our own spirit. And then we can deal with the rest of the world. But Yolanda Lugo, Morales Lugo,
yep.
my done. Thank you. And Stephanie says, Margie, you are my spirit animal. Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God, that's so fantastic. So we have a few minutes left, and yeah, so just sort of honing it all in. This was the bottom line is this: that whether you work with a company or if you work at a school or if you yourself, it's just in your personal life. If you're hearing the word transparency, if you're using the word transparency, just replace it with truth. And company that throws that around a lot, and you know that they're not being transparent, just know who you are within that place. You are you there working for that company, and whenever information comes up and they say things like they're transparent, you know exactly where you stand, and honor the fact that they are not going to always be as transparent as they say they are, because sometimes again they can't be. And they don't know how to navigate that. They don't know their own truth to be able to say, we can't share every little thing with you, but we're going to share as much as we can with you. To me, that would be an amazing company to work for when they make like that, to say
absolutely
like that, right? So any last bit before we talk about what's coming up? Marcia, last words of wisdom?
I just saw my cousin Iris. She wrote, when I said how those who know me from my past know that I would walk up and knock on anybody's door. And she wrote, with a bat. Iris, those are things you no longer speak of.
Transparency. There it is.
I'm not that Margie anymore. I'm about life, light, and love.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I think, well, first of all, ladies, thank you for having me on the show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And my last parting words would be, just be who you are. Be comfortable with who you are and own that. You know what I mean? And don't look at other people and look at what they're doing and how they're doing it and you know, things like that. Just be comfortable with who you are, and the rest will come, you know? Just be in your truth, or follow your truth.
Yes.
Amen. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Frank's on. Good morning, Frank. Got on late, Frank, did you?
Marcia, I'm so happy that you came on today. This was, I think, the perfect conversation for you, for your intro.
Thank you.
Oh, I hope this is not your last time you can be on.
Yes.
Now that I'm over the hump of because I was nervous. I was talking to him, I'm like, oh my God, I've never done anything like this before. I'm really nervous. But
you fit right in.
You made me so comfortable, and so thank you.
You and your shit fit right in.
Yes, you gotta let that go. But just to let you know that I love Elvis Presley. I grew up thinking he was my father because my mother had him all over the house. So our joke between my two sisters, who I hope are still on, my older sister and my youngest sister, was we grew up thinking our name was Bitch and our father was Elvis. That shit still makes me laugh every time I think about it.
Oh my God, that's so
Elvis
funny.
Presley was a great performer, right? Do you know that he threw up before every show prior to him getting on stage? Like,
really? No.
like threw up as though he was recovering from a hangover. His nerves got to him that bad that right
Wow.
before he walked on stage, he was vomiting.
Wow.
So, you know, so I think I tell that story with people who say they're nervous when they first gonna come on, because the best of what we've known from our history have always been nervous every single time he came on stage. And how many times did Elvis?
That is the truth. See, that's the truth. And
Yep.
Andrew says, true, Marcia. Angelica Mondu came on. Good morning, Angelica. And she said, glad I heard it too. So she was glad she heard what you had to say, Margie. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Glad she heard what?
What you when you said, I like hearing that, what you said about Elvis, and she says, I heard it too. Just agreeing with you. All right, so we want to give before we get off today, we want to thank our guest, Marcia Lim, for coming on. She is
Thank you.
Great addition to our Thursday lineup, and we want to give a special announcement too, that we finally got our crap together. And right, Margie, we really busted it out last night. So now, starting on Tuesday, we will be broadcasting from our Viva Café con Leche Facebook page. And that means that in order for you to know that it's going on, make sure that you follow us, like us, so this way you get your notifications when we go live. So it is Facebook at Viva Café con Leche. We also have a YouTube channel, which that's going to take another week or so to put together. And again, we want all of you to share, because we want this to really go viral. We think that we have something absolutely special and fabulous here. And we want you guys to let everybody else know that as well. So what we're going to ask you to do is, when you get on to watch us in the morning, start a watch party so that people on your own Facebook channels will see it and start watching, and we'll just get this big thing going on.
Yes,
is that about right, Margie?
Yes. If you share, I just want to say good morning to my son-in-law, Argenis.
Good morning, Argenis.
And my daughter, Tiffany.
Morning, Tiff.
Yes, please like, share, comment, and be a part of this, because, we started this. May was our first show. We're loving it, and in our belief system, and we put it in prayer, and we believe in what we do. This is going to be big. So I hope you come along for the ride. I hope that your participation in this, we will grow together as an empowerment tribe, as a tribe that believes in self-love and self-honesty, and a tribe that believes I'm being unapologetically courageous. So
That's
say
right.
shit when something happens. Say it with your chest, and love who you are, because you know what? God doesn't put people together by mistake.
Nope.
So
They're all together on purpose. Yep.
Yeah.
So true.
Let's keep this
Beautiful.
going.
What a beautiful way to end that, Margie. I love that. So yes, thank you so much, everybody, for coming on. Again, we will be on Tuesday, and Tuesday's conversation is, are you high or low maintenance? And great conversation. And again, it will be on the Facebook at Viva Café con Leche page. And we will see you all on Tuesday. Have an absolutely fabulous weekend. And remember, be you, be real, be extraordinary. And Margie?
Everybody, please send us your taza de café selfie, please, because we have our new Instagram page and Facebook page, and let's just blow it up with the beauty of you and your coffee cup. Okay, mi gente? Remember, throughout your day, enjoy every second of your day, every 86,400 seconds you own in your 24 hours, to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit.
Yes. Shit.
Love that.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for coming
Bye,
on.
ladies. Bye, everyone.
Bye.